Surely they can't fuck this one up. It's The Rock as a supervillain. You can't do this wrong, can you? It sells itself. Black Adam tells the story of, well, Black Adam, played by Dwayne Johnson.
That's The Rock for nobody who watches bad Disney movies.
An ancient superhuman who, after being magically imprisoned for almost 5,000 years, is suddenly reawoken by a group of archaeologists and comes into conflict with the Justice Society of America, a group of superheroes who have been dispatched by the American government to take him down. Kinda like wrestling fans when he took Cody Rhodes' spot.
Shut your bitch ass up!
The development of a Black Adam movie started back in the early 2000s, when The Rock himself approached Warner Brothers about portraying the character on screen following the success of The Mummy Returns, but he was turned down due to lack of interest. Because believe it or not, kids, there once was a time where The Rock didn't rule the entire world.
Shut up, bitch!
However, once the company started actively developing a movie about Black Adam's arch nemesis, Shazam! The studio reconsidered and reapproached Johnson, who was then confirmed to be cast in August 2014, being paid an insane $22.5 million for his involvement. Because, kids, by 2014, The Rock had in fact taken over the entire world.
They will all chant The Rock's name.
However, by January 2017, executives at Warner Brothers grew suspicious that Johnson was trying to hijack the movie by using his public profile to make it all about the film's villain instead, at which point they decided to split the project into two separate films. Shazam! Starring the titular hero, and then a separate Black Adam movie. Yes, The Rock couldn't bear to not be the center of attention, so they literally had to give him his entirely solo movie himself.
You strip away the glitz, the glamour, the lights. You strip away Hollywood, the movies, the fame. You strip away the catchphrases. You strip away trending worldwide. You strip it all away. Look at me. You strip it all away. At The Rock's core.
What do you got?
The Rock's core.
We strip it away. What do you got?
The Rock.
We both know no one can stop me.
These people love The Rock. I was one of these people until I got to meet Dwayne Johnson.
All this power. And the only thing I could do with it is hurt people.
Wasn't even acting there. Who wrote that line? George Lucas? May as well have "I'm a baddie" written on his head. At first, the plan would have been to introduce Black Adam in a sequel to Suicide Squad, where he would have been revealed to be a weapon of mass destruction that the team had been sent to locate. Because if you were faced with this invincible, immortal supervillain that could destroy the entire world, wouldn't you send in Polka Dot Man?
It doesn't work like that.
But due to conflicts with scheduling and creative differences, this was abandoned. Adam Sutzkeil was then hired to write the screenplay for the Black Adam movie in October 2017. But constant script revisions meant that a final draft wasn't finished until early 2019. The writers stated that they had no intention of softening the character for audiences, saying, "He isn't the Boy Scout superhero. He's the guy that's like, okay, you cross him, will I rip your head off?"
The Rock is 6'4", 260 pounds, a man that will rip your throat out.
When choosing a director, Jordan Peele was the first to be asked, but he turned the project down, citing a lack of interest in the superhero genre. He meant the script. A lack of interest in the script.
No shit.
By June 2019, How I May Call It Sarah was brought in to direct after impressing The Rock when they made Jungle Cruise, describing his film as the Dirty Harry of superheroes, hoping that it would be a meaner, darker superhero film than audiences were used to. I mean, based on the superhero films in the past, this was nowhere near as remotely as dark as they intended it to be. Or did they mean it's a movie so dark it would make you depressed upon watching it? Because then you succeeded.
This is not a very good plan.
But even crazier is that Liam Neeson was rumoured for the role of Dr. Fate. Yes, the character is actually called Dr. Fate. Against his arch nemesis, Meanie Pants.
He's a bad man.
But this was eventually revealed to be false, and his fellow Irishman Pierce Brosnan was confirmed to be playing the character instead. The movie has The Rock and James Bond, and it's still shit! How did they do that?
Show some respect and keep it down, baby. Keep it down.
Filming ran from April to August 2021, and Black Adam was released on October the 21st the following year, and to no one's surprise except DC's, because apparently they don't realise that they constantly churn out dog shit over and over again, it was torn apart by critics and audiences. Financially, the movie wasn't a total disaster, grossing $393 million against its $260 million budget, but it wasn't nearly as successful as the studio had been hoping. Yeah, This is a huge budget blockbuster superhero movie starring the most expensive actor in the world, and it did moderately well. That's almost impressive.
I know what this looks like.
However, The Rock actually contradicted these reports, claiming that the film made a profit of somewhere between 52 and 72 million. Though a later report showed that Warner Brothers executives suspected that Johnson and his team were leaking falsified financial sheets that contained inaccurate marketing and box office figures in order to get the movie better press. Someone affiliated with the WWE lying about numbers? Never.
We don't have time for this.
In regards to a follow-up, The Rock stated that he planned for there to be a sequel where Black Adam would take on Superman, as well as a crossover with Shazam! But upon the announcement that James Gunn would be rebooting the DCEU from the ground up, these ideas were promptly canned, and all of The Rock's dreams of turning this film and character into a huge series promptly crashed and burned. Good. So much so, Henry Cavill appears as Superman in the post-credits scene, and this was originally intended to set up his grand return to the role, even leaving his show The Witcher specifically for the DCEU. Unfortunately, James Gunn's DC reboot was announced less than a month after the movie's release, thereby making the scene redundant and giving Cavill the boot again, and he ended up losing 2 jobs at the same time.
You have no idea.
I mean, I'll credit them for trying. I went into this just thinking maybe it'll be mindless noise. Just some fun with The Rock throwing shit around and blowing shit up. But no, they fully go all out trying to tell a concise backstory for this character. It's quite cute thinking we give a fuck.
All I inherited was a sweater.
That's not true. Bubba left you his van and his bald spot.
You know, some women like a bald spot.
Yeah, you tell him. There's this Peter Jackson clone who they tried desperately to turn into the comic relief, but I've had diarrhea that's funnier than him.
God willing, we won't see him again. Don't worry, I die by electricity. Did he just catch a rocket? Baby, come back!
Okay, they kind of saved that one, but this movie is so painfully unfunny.
Don't touch him, he's made of lightning.
Good point. You get him, you're the electrician.
I am so sorry, was that expensive?
Can either of you fly?
Not all heroes wear capes, but I think you earned this.
Well, statistically, most heroes don't wear capes, but yeah.
And they even repeat the exact same jokes from The Suicide Squad.
You killed him, didn't you? He didn't make it.
But as always, there's at least a couple that slip through the cracks. The arse cracks!
Wizards.
But you'll never guess what style they decide to go for. It's another person from another world who doesn't understand our ways. Oh my god, where did they get that idea from? It's genius, so creative. Seriously, he goes around not understanding why violence and murder is wrong. Where have I heard this before?
You just can't go around killing people.
Why?
This franchise fucking blows!
I disagree.
He copies the good, the bad, and the ugly because he saw it on TV earlier. He ends up destroying Justice League posters. As for the acting,
Say goodbye to your brother.
as well as my acting career, he is awful.
Any last words?
I will admit, The Rock's first appearance is actually pretty sweet. He incinerates a bloke pretending he's Cody Rhodes, and it's such an epic badass introduction to the character. And of course, nobody is surprised that The Rock wanted to play an immortal supervillain who can't be harmed or killed.
Dwayne Johnson is a self-centered, egotistical, see-through son of a bitch.
How about I rip your little wings off instead?
I'd like to see you try.
I mean, you've seen what he can do! What do you mean? I'd like to see Superman try to kill me with one punch. But my god, the effects look so cheap. Did they blow all their budget on just getting Dwayne?
That's The Rock for nobody who watches bad Disney movies.
Look at it looks like House of the Dead on the Sega Saturn. It looks like a damn student film at times. What the hell did they spend the money on? A Happy Meal costs more than what this shit looks like it cost. As for the performance, I mean, it's The Rock. Does he have any other performance? I guess he's a bit more reserved, but it's still the same monotone, boring role he always gives. Can you name any of his characters other than The Rock and the Scorpion King and Black Adam? Name one. Pierce Brosnan looks bored out of his fucking mind in this. He even dies and looks bored. I understand. Oh, and I hope you like slow-mos, because just when you think they've reached their quota, they'll do another and another. But then, just to throw you off, it doesn't matter if it fits or anything, just slow-mo every fucking thing. But why the hell are they driving the damn mystery machine from Scooby-Doo? Ah, you know who we need? Polka Dot Man. I mean, we do get Waller-Face from Suicide Squad again. Why is everyone in this universe afraid of asking Superman or Wonder Woman for help? Oh, but they'll ask Henry Winkler.
Your power grew until it became uncontrollable.
So he bought a share of the WWE to exact his revenge. All of the side characters are so boring and so forgettable. It's just The Rock and the other guys. In fact, he was also in the other guys. Isn't that weird?
What I did there is called sarcasm.
I just don't give a shit about any of the villains, heroes, arcs, characters. Not a flying care is here. In fact, I care so little that when anyone dies, hands up, who cares? I'm just amazed at how it's even remotely possible to make a concept like this boring. You have The Rock with superpowers and it's boring. We would have accepted mindless shit of him just flying around blowing stuff up. This had to have been intentional, making one of the most charismatic men in Hollywood suck. I'm not asking for a Daniel Day-Lewis performance, but you're the fucking Rock. You literally became a star because of your natural charisma. It seems to have just vanished when he joined Hollywood. All of his performances are boring as hell. How do you go from one of the most charismatic men on television to this crap? Just, can you believe that these clips are from the same person?
I remember looking at you, sitting there picking your nose, wiping it on your shirt, and of all things, you were sitting in the locker room playing with a My Pretty Pony. Who would have ever thought the man with 24-inch pythons would have half-inch testicles? Probably laying naked on a beach, sitting there watching Brock Lesnar work out. Like a big fat walrus cheering on Brock. Perry Saturn, The Rock's gift to you. The Rock knows that you've got one eye that goes that way and another eye that goes that way. So The Rock will slap that crooked eye straight. I did it for the people. Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. Booker T and Shane. The punk-ass sucker, and the silver spoon, motherfucker! You ran right by Andre the Giant, right by Junkyard Dog, smack dab right in the middle of King Kong Bundy's ball sack. Uncle Joe Jericho with the glass eyes, Grandpa Jimmy Jack Jericho with the iron lung. It might be even Grandma Jezebel Jericho with the double X dirty panties. I went to shake your hand. Hey man, how you doing? You're like, oh no, this is my pretty pony. Don't touch my pretty pony.
Prove your strength. Destroy your enemy and all he cares about. Make him beg for mercy, but deny it until his final breath.
But in a flashback, look, he does give emotion. Well, there we go. It's good to see DC are trying to sympathize with serial killers again, though. Guess they inspired Saw X, making one protect a child, so it's impossible to hate him. I mean, it's really not that intense, is it? We've literally seen that he's faster than a bullet. In fact, he's proven he's faster than this. Why is there suspense?
Why not?
They end up battling the devil from Pick of Destiny, but it's just fascinating how such short films can suddenly feel a hell of a lot longer.
I did see your death, but I also found a way to prevent it.
All right, Doctor Strange, calm down.
Diamond upside down is a pussy.
Even the characters sound like they're in pain when they mention the title of the film.
Okay, Black Adam.
Black Adam is awful. How do you have the biggest star in the world and you suck? The biggest star in the world and you don't make $1 billion. It's boring, unfunny for the most part, dull and bland characters, a shit lead performance, and another huge flop in DC's legacy.